Hi, my friends. How are you today? Okay, let's come on over here and look at some of these vowel sounds and really review them. So who can tell me why all of these are together right here? They're all of our R controls. Trivia for you. What sound do all of those make? They all say that's right. What's the picture card that helps us remember that sometimes AR says Beggar. Very good. It's a dog begging for food. And how about OR? What's the key word of the picture that sometimes OR says A doctor. Very good. Now let's look down here. What do all three of these say? A. And what do all three of these say? Long E. And then remember these guys, they go into both categories. They can say long A or long E. And then what about this one? Can it also say? Short E. So that's why we say eat bread and steak, because EA can say E, A, or eh. Okay. So yesterday we learned about contractions and we talked about these two contractions, is and not. Today we're going to learn some others with not. Okay, so let's see here. Our base word or our first syllable word is going to be, what does this say? Does. And now let me pull down the word not. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and take the O away. Replace it with my apostrophe and read it to me, everyone. What does it say now with the contractions? Doesn't. Good. What letter did the apostrophe replace? What does it represent? The O. Very good. Okay. Now, some contractions are a little bit tricky. Let me show you what I mean. Okay. Our first syllable word we have here is must, and then we have not. Okay. So take a look. We do the same thing. We smush it together and we replace the O with the apostrophe. But listen, when we pronounce this, we say mustn't. So it's tricky because the T is still here, but we don't pronounce it. Listen again, mustn't. Instead of saying you must not throw food at the dinner table, we say you mustn't throw your food at the dinner table. Okay, the tricky part is this T. Here's another tricky part with not. I'll bring my not back over here. Let me erase must and change it to the word can. What does it say? Can not. Okay, so take a look. When we do this, since can ends in N, not only do we get rid of the O, but we get rid of the N. That would look funny to have two N's. So we get rid of the N and the O, and it's just apostrophe T to say can't. Okay, I can't believe there's so many tricky parts to the English language. Can I hear you use the word can't in a sentence? Okay. So one more tricky one. So far we said the tricky ones are mustn't, can't, and here's another one. We did see it in our notebooks yesterday, but now we're really going into detail. What does that word say? Will. Will not. I will not eat asparagus. Now, if we need to go ahead and make a contraction here, this is one that's really unusual. So unfortunately, you just have to memorize it. If I'm saying I will not eat asparagus, we don't smush it over. We completely change it and say won't. I won't eat asparagus. So will not becomes the contraction won't. You can see that the NT part stays the same, but look what happens to will. It goes to woe. I won't. Okay. And lastly, there's another one I want to show you. if we have do not, to change this one, we still move this over. So do not becomes don't. And I wanted to point this out because don't and won't, they rhyme. This no longer sounds like do. That's what makes it, it doesn't say do'n't, it says don't, like won't. Okay, so 4 tricky ones. Let's practice them. So if you can get out your whiteboard, I want you to practice putting will not together. I will not eat my peas. How can I say this? Instead of saying I will not eat my peas, I would say I won't. Go ahead and show me how to do won't. Will not to won't. You have to erase a lot. Will not won't. All right, we're going to make up a song right here. Here we go. Will not won't. Will not won't. If any of you want to go make a TikTok about will not won't, please let me know and I'll put it in my video. Okay. Let's try another one. Let's do must not. So go ahead on your board. I want you to write must not. And then I want you to erase away to change it into the contraction. And don't forget, you do have your contraction page in your notebook for any of the ones that feel tricky to you. Okay, so this one wasn't tricky to spell. The tricky part's the pronunciation. How do we say it? I mustn't. That's right, I mustn't. That's a silent T right there. Okay, here's your next one to try. Were not. They were not very nice to me. Change were not into a contraction. Okay, what did it become? Were not becomes weren't. They weren't nice to me. Okay, my friends, let's try one in a sentence now, okay? Repeat after me. We haven't finished destroying this. Did you hear the contraction? Haven't. We haven't finished destroying this. We haven't finished destroying this. Okay, guys, did you finish your sentence? We haven't finished destroying this. Check. Did you start with an uppercase? And I put an exclamation point at the end because it was exciting. Like, we haven't finished destroying this. All right, check it with mine. There's that contraction. Have not becomes haven't. Check all your spelling and fix anything that you might have some mistakes on. Okay, let's erase it. And let's do one more sentence. Actually, instead of doing one more sentence, let's do another contraction. Okay, here's your word set. Where is. Take where is and change it to the contraction. What would the contraction be if I'm saying, where is my dog? Where's. Make it say where's. Where's my dog? All right, my friends. Now we'll switch gears a little bit and we have 2 new sound-alikes. All right, here they are. Let's take them out of the fresh card pack. And here we go. What do the words say? It's and its. Now look really closely. What's the difference? Okay. So this one right here is like what we've been working on. It's a contraction. It's. So since it's a contraction, what is it a contraction of? It's a contraction of it is. Okay, take a look. It's a contraction. Let me add the word of. A contraction of it is. It's. Now let's look at that other it's again. This one doesn't have that apostrophe. This one is when it's showing possession. So if my little turtle has some food, I'd say its food. I wouldn't really say it, I'd say his food. So it would show possession more of a thing. So a better example might be like a car has its windows down. And a good way to check if it should be its or its is after you say it, see if it would make sense to replace it with it is. So when I say the car has its windows down, if I didn't know how to spell that one and I replaced it and said the car has it is windows down, you'd be like, no, it's not it is. It's not a contraction. It's just possession, something it owns. Okay. So you need to add these definitions to your student notebook. So go ahead and grab your student notebook. And of course, you're going to go to the very back where the sound alikes are and look for the I. It is page 97. Looks like this. And here are your definitions that I'll hold up for you to copy in. It's a contraction of it is and it's. Use when an object goes with something else. Okay, pause until you have that completed. And I want to play a little game of it's or it's. So I am going to give you a sentence, and on your whiteboard, you need to write down which it is. This can be tricky, my friends, so get ready. It's either going to have the contraction in it. Do my little test where you say it is. Okay, here we go. The house has its door open. Which one? We're talking about an object. The house has its door open. Would we say the house has it is door open? No. So it's this one. It's. Okay, here's the next one. Write it on your whiteboard. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's a beautiful day. Which one would it be? Well, does it sound right to say it is a beautiful day? Yeah, so it's the contraction. Okay. The book has its cover ripped off. Which one? The book has its cover ripped off. Well, we're talking about possession of an object, so it's ITS, no apostrophe. And we'll do one more. It's my favorite pizza place. It is my favorite pizza place. Yeah, that sounds right, being it is. So that's how we know it's the contraction. All right, nice job, my friends. Please make sure that you erase your board so that we don't leave any stains. It's hard to get it off if you don't do it right away. And I'm going to straighten all my things up as well. All right, and I'll see you next time. Great job today.